There you are. Good afternoon, Devina. Welcome to CWS as it is.
Thanks for having me.
You are quite welcome. Devina, tell us just a little bit about yourself and your business.
Okay, my name is Devina Deputron, and the name of my business is Deputron, simply Deputron. I'm very proud of my name, so I decided that would be the best thing to do, name it after myself. My business is, to sum it up, it's basically home decor. Um, I do paintings as well as fine craft for home and offices. And the difference about my work from the others or the persons or the businesses like this that are out there, I um, want my pieces, or when I create my pieces, I do them in a such a way that it brings out some aspect of our culture, because I find that we have deviated, Guyana as a whole, we have deviated from things that are authentic Guyanese, and we tend to go for the easy, we just go to the stores, the Chinese stores, and we would pick up those mass-produced stuff to decorate our homes. So I want to bring back that love of all things Guyanese.
That is
I want,
interesting. Things that are art that are authentically
yeah.
Guyanese. Why is that so important to you?
Because again, I my work, it's I wanted to remind us of our identity. You understand? Because again, I teach apart from owning this business. I'm a teacher. I'm an art teacher, and being in the schools, being around young persons, I see us deviating. We become more. We adopting the culture of the first world, and things Guyanese. It's not loved, or it's not appreciated.
Mm.
And I, yeah, with my work, if parents or even the young people buy my work, and it's in the home, it will remind them, they're surrounding themselves with things that are created by a Guyanese artist, instead of.
When did you first start noticing this trend that the society seemed to be losing that texture, if I may use that word, that cultural texture that represents Guyana?
Well, again, I was a student years ago. I pride myself in being very sensitive to my environment as it relates to culture. And since I was in high school, I noticed my friends, they gravitated more towards things that are, not Guyanese, local things. They would say, "Oh, it's not nice enough," for lack of a better word. So it always irked me that, why is it the way we do things why don't we celebrate our way of doing things instead of adopting another culture, their mannerisms and
Give us an example of a piece of work or a piece of art that you have infused our culture into it.
well, again, with for instance, my painting. I When I do paintings, again, I tend to do a lot of research. I like my paintings to be more of a conversation piece, more or less.
Is that
So
so?
yeah,
Is that
I,
so?
yes. Because again, if you see, notice right me, there's a piece here.
I
Apart
I was about to ask you about it. Tell us a little bit about it.
that again, that speaks to what I was talking about. This piece, apart from the whole being sensitive to our culture, like the Guyanese culture, I want my work to try to help the person to be more a better version of themselves. This piece here, so it's called chakra. I don't know if you're familiar with Hindu, the
Yes, I
Hindu.
know what the chakras are.
So this here is basically talking about self development and being the best you that there is to be. Yeah,
So so if I were to say to surmise that you put culture, spirituality, and spirituality into your work, would I be accurate?
yes, definitely,
Mhm.
definitely.
What what type of comments do you get from people when they see your art?
Well, again, the persons I paint my work, you will see, even if it's not painting, I do if it's one of my textile pieces. Um, I use a lot of bright colors. So that's one of the first things that attract persons to my work.
Hold
They
on a
like,
second. You do textile too?
yeah, textile. I do 3D sculpture with textile. I also do fabric. 'Cause
Do you
the
have
fabric.
anything around that you can show us on camera?
Okay, well, I don't have any textile piece here
But
right now, but
whatever, any piece of your work.
uh, well, there's this here, and I also have another one. This one, another piece.
Wow. And what is the story behind that?
This one here, I did. This one was a research I was doing. This is one of the pieces because I recently graduated from the University of Guyana, where I in fine arts.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much. This is one of the pieces that I did for the research because we have to do a study at the end of the program, and we have to do work to go along with the research paper. This talk I was looking at the goddess worship, if to see if the goddess is worshipped in contemporary society, because from research I understood that in ancient times. We had religion was matriarchal, where the woman was God, where
Oh
the woman
yeah.
was
Mhm.
yeah. So my study was based on to see if the goddess is still worshipped in contemporary society.
But did you? I mean, you kind of took me down this path. But did you find out at what time the shift took place when
Well,
when the patriarch sort of took over?
well, see, it basically it's around the Greek Roman time when well, this is when it's solidified
Hmm.
basically. Because again, humans wanted, remember, wars were conquering lands were very, I mean, we still do it to fight for stuff, but it was solidified during that period because people associated a male god with helping them fight wars. That is the male figurehead who will help them, lead them into battle and allow them victories. So that was one of the turning points in history during that period. But
When you set out to create a piece, let's say painting, what is your process like? And when I say this, I don't want to lead you. I want you to answer this from your heart. What is your process like in terms of centering yourself? Reflect. What goes into painting, sculpting, putting a piece together?
Well, that is a question that a lot of people ask me. It's usually it starts off with a color, and yeah, it's
A
just
color.
on my iPad. I have nature. I have where in nature I would see a color,
Yes.
and instantly the color schemes of nature mean God, God. He, I guess that's why he, she is God. Nature did it best with the color schemes, and I would just take out a picture and keep it. And then sometimes again, uh, I like to work with get ideas from art. Like I would see a photograph or a picture of a cave or the desert and the forms and the lines and the shape. Again, I would take a picture of something like that. Because again, I from our conversation before the emails we sent, I said I like abstract. So
Yes.
my work, my everything is basically. I guess I remember telling you of my love for abstract.
Have you
So I get my this nature. Nature is my resource in terms of the color scheme and the forms I to recreate. So when I'm painting now, I would have a basic idea. Okay, I saw this cave, I saw this particular sand dune or whatever. But then again, when I'm into the work, sometimes the painting or sometimes all the time the painting just takes me or the work just take me if I'm doing some weaving or something. And I usually just allow the work. I mean, it sounds cliche, but I just allow the work to take me where it wants to go. And I usually end up with some happy accidents, more or less.
and when did you realize, or when did you, or do you remember at what point um, you started being obedient to where this was taking you?
Well, again, from the inception, because when I try to follow a rule, I am not I'm never pleased with the result when I try to follow some sort of priority or some kind of step or formula. And
Mhm.
I read it almost immediately, and I just sometimes just let it take me wherever it wants to go.
So how long you started your business? Like
4 years ago,
four
yeah,
years ago. And
4 years.
and how has it been?
Well, it has been good, but it could be great.
It could be great. I see. And what keeps you go? If you had to give a quick answer to a question like what is it, the money or the art? What would you
I
go? The art.
just love to create. Yeah, again, this is one of the things that I think I don't want to ever, as people say, sell out. I again, as a business person, you will have to think about profit and stuff like that. But again, being an artist, sometimes I just the joy of creating, and I like when people, they say, "Oh, I love your work. I just want to sit in my home or my, on my walls or wherever." I think this is like the greatest high.
Is
Yeah.
there a particular favorite piece in the past 2 years?
That is difficult. I think everything I create are my little babies.
What is one piece you created that not during, but when you were finished, the message from that piece was so profound that you had to pause?
Oh, uh, uh, uh. Okay. That one would be I named it Ma. Again, that was part of the research paper that I did with the goddess worship stuff. It was talked about the mother, the goddess being symbolize the entire cosmos. She is the beginning and the end, the Alpha,
Yeah,
the Omega.
Ma. So do you find the feminine energy or feminine entity or feminine influence in most of your work?
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
Let me just go to the chat room for a second. Michelle Foster, does she present her work at exhibitions?
Yes. The Women in Business Expo, that was one of my second exhibitions. I was part of a national visual arts competition year before last, because every 2 years they have that. So again, that was my only two major exhibition, but we had like little small exhibitions in Upper GUG in the art room. That's about it.
What is your favorite thing to create?
Paintings.
Paintings.
To me, I like when I applying that paint on canvas. It's just a wonderful feel. I mean, I can't describe it. It's just
Okay. If the best way you can, I know what you just said, you can't really describe it, but here you are in front of a canvas, brushes, paints, all the different media materials and so on around you. What is happening? What are you thinking? What are you present to at the moment?
again, initially before paint hits canvas, and you have this blank canvas.
Yes.
Like it's excitement, but fear at the same time. It's like
Why fear?
Yeah, it's like the blends. They become one.
Okay.
Where you start something new, create something new, but then you're afraid of what's going to be the final. But but then it's like split seconds for the first couple of seconds happen. But then when you start to apply, you start to paint, I get into a zone where you.
Do you usually start off with an end result in your mind, or
Almost always, but I never get that.
why do you think the destination escapes you and sort of replace itself with something else?
Because again, I allow the work again. Sorry for repeating myself, being cliche now. When you allow the work to take you, it's the process. The process you when you're enjoying what you're doing, right? By allowing the work to take you, or you're not, this has to go there, this has to, and you're all thinking about the end, it should be like this when I'm done. When you allow that, it becomes organic. It becomes more organic, and in the end, you get better results than if you understand, allow it to, when it's done, it should be here.
Michelle Foster asked, any plans for the 50th?
Yes, definitely.
Like
yes.
what?
In so many ideas. I don't think 24 hours is enough right now.
So would some of our listeners be able to purchase something from you?
Yeah, yes, definitely.
And where would they be able to find you online, and where would they be able to find you in Guyana?
Well, the 21st and the 22nd, there's going to be an exhibition at Pegasus.
Okay.
From 10 to 6. 10 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock, I'm going to be there. It's going to be
and you'll be there. All right. Esther asks, have you left the teaching profession, or are you doing both?
I'm doing both.
So what drives you the most these days? Or no, that's easy. Let me change that. What challenges you the most these days in creating a piece?
Well, again, the challenge is sometimes when I get commissioned work and somebody wants me to, and again, as I was explaining for the last 5 minutes or so, how I am very organic in process oriented in terms of creation. But when somebody commissions something specific, that is a big challenge to me, because again, as I say, I usually just like the work to just take. So what is one of the biggest challenges for me when somebody say, okay, I want this way, or whatever, but we need to satisfy the client's needs. So that's one of the things I'm working on right now too.
Where do you see the how you pronounce Deputron? Is that Deputron?
Deputron.
Deep,
D.
Deputron, thank you. Where do you see Deputron in 10 years?
Well, in 10 years, I would like my business to be a household name.
Uh huh.
Yes, dream big, a lifestyle brand more or less, Devina stuff in your home, whether it be some sculpture, some textile piece on your wall, some one of her materials you sewed some clothes with, or some shirt or dress.
When you're in
Yeah.
the mood to create, I know you like painting, but is it always the first thing that you would reach for?
No, sometimes I would go straight to club. I I like to experiment. The other day I was in one of a store, and I saw this fruit bowl and a wine rack made out of metal, and I kept looking at it too, and I said, if I put it this way and put it that way, I could get the form again. As you recognize my work, it's very a lot of feminine, with the subtle feminine qualities to them. I went to a welding shop, and they welded together. It had the form of the fruit basket became the torso, and the wine rack, I turned it upside down, so it was this long neck with a very beautiful piece. And then I took thread and wool, and I wove. It was beautiful piece. So again, it depends on. Sometimes I would see something, and I would get excited because I see the possibilities of it becoming something else than what it was originally made for. And
Where can people see most of this work or a lot of this work?
well, again,
Facebook?
yeah, Facebook, and my friends, a lot of my friends would they would repost things for me. Repost my stuff on their walls. But that's basically about it. And friends that I know that I've done work for, they would refer me to somebody, and that was about it in terms of how I got clients. But
You know what I like about what I've been hearing these past 4 weeks among your generation, among you young folks, is this sense of camaraderie and empowering each other through helping each other, through looking out for each other. You,
yeah,
I was introduced to you. Well, I mean, so Miss Sonia Noel is much much older than you are, but I was introduced to you by her. She referred you, and spoke very highly of you. And then when the ad was posted, I got some messages like, "Oh my gosh, you got the Vina." But going back to this whole thing that really touches me about the way young people are cooperating with each other and helping each other. Why you think this is so? And please pardon the ignorance in this question, someone from an older generation who doesn't really see that kind of stuff. But I'm fascinated by it, so I'm asking you from that perspective, that
well,
view, right?
personally, again, I think with my friends, they're just genuinely excited to me. They just want to me, like, they see if I'm successful. By default, they're successful.
I like that. I like
Right?
that.
The
Yeah.
other thing is just that just generally, like, again, people nowadays, it's just a matter of asking for help. And all people around my age group that I interact with, as I was saying, my friends were one of the only persons who would get clients to me, more or less. I've got a lot of clients because of the people I know in my age bracket, because they would say, "Oh, you understand, Devina does this," and then the person will call me up. And my cousin, she's a graphic artist. She did when I first started out. She did the business cards for me free of cost. She did it. Yes, so this is her little way of helping me out. So again, I think people just generally want to see me succeed. It's just a
Do you
It's just,
think? Do you think that for someone to be successful in business, they have to have the right mindset?
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. They have to. You have to put in that 120%. You have to stay focused, because life they can have so many distractions. Again, like me, for instance, doing both, having my business and I'm a full-time teacher,
Mhm.
right? So it's a struggle at sometimes, but you have to be disciplined, right? I would advise anybody to be disciplined, um, stay focused, and have goals every day. If you could do something towards reaching that goal, is a step towards that ultimate bigger goal. You understand? But every day is you have to keep working. Every day you wake up, you have to say prioritize. I'm going to get this done. I'm going to get this done. Maybe you set out 5 things to do, but you only got to do three, but it's 3 out of 5, which is better than none at all. This is how I have to do
If
things.
you didn't have this kind of discipline, describe a day in the life of Defina. If you didn't have this kind of discipline, what would happen?
Oh gosh, let me see. I I have a daughter, so again, I would produce nothing. I would just be again. Sometimes artists. I'm going to be very critical to you guys, listeners, and to you, Selwyn. We so procrastinate, right? And this, what I'm telling you now, has been hard because again, for a good while, I was just I'm putting off things. My days would be, I can do it tomorrow. Tomorrow, man, tomorrow. And things would pile up, work would pile up, and then I realized that this is not making me successful. It's not going to make me achieve that the ultimate goal that I want to be this household name, Devina on the lips of everybody. You need to get up and get. I need to put in my 2 cents in order to get
Yet,
my
yet you rose to the occasion when Sonia Well contacted you. Why?
yeah.
Why? Why?
Because
Why did you respond?
well, I saw this as an opportunity to introduce myself to people who are outside of, because again, I have a small group of friends, and again, if I want to achieve my goals, to see my dreams fulfilled, I need a wider audience. And I thought, when she told me about this, I was so excited because I'm thinking a platform like this would give me so much exposure. I mean, right now I'm out of my comfort zone because I'm consciously thinking, oh, am I sitting correctly?
You're fine. You're fine. Believe you me. You are. You are.
Am I a therapy for understanding what I'm saying? What again? All I'm right now. I'm very nervous. I don't know if you're not.
No,
You
not
might.
at all. You're nervous?
Right? Yes,
No,
I am.
we are enjoying you. Believe you me. We are fascinated by you, and that you had the audacity to utilize your gifts and talents and um, convert that into a business. That many people will have those same gifts and talents and be paralyzed with fear and not do anything. So the fact that you could be here doing business, using your skills to generate revenue, that is amazing. You know,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. I just wish people again. It's you see it in you read in books and hear people talk about, oh, if you wake up every day doing something you love, you never have to work a day in life. It is true. It is true because be doing what I'm doing now. I mean, eventually I would like to stop teaching, but not completely. Maybe teach part time when my business, not if when my business expands. Um, because I just love it. I get to paint, I get to create, I get to work with textiles, I get to work with, and it's just amazing. You understand?
Mm.
To
Um,
continue.
it In the chat room, Michelle Foster said, I see a lot of social capital among our youth, inspiring. Um, if you if you could turn back the hands of time and go back to when you first started, like doing this as a business, what would you change? What would you do differently?
Um, I would have a better marketing strategy. Yes, I would have again. I think again something I would tell persons who intend to go into business. Um, get people who are in the who has the know-how and let them advise you.
Mm.
Some people are there's so many persons. You just have to ask them for the help, and they're willing to help you.
What
But
is yeah, go
yes,
ahead. Sorry.
no, what I'm saying is marketing. I wish I did a course. That was one of my minor courses at UG. My fine with my along with my final in the fine art degree program. Marketing was my minor, but I wish I had I had someone were who was a business person more or less who did something similar like me and was successful. I wish I had initially had one or two persons to really sit down and talk to. That's the only thing I would change. Yeah.
What is one thing you've discovered about yourself over the past 4 years?
Well, one of the things is that I don't give up.
Ah, I like that.
Explain why. I'm very, I don't want to say strong-headed, but I, it, sometimes I was so cannot go to class, stop going to, and I did not take that as I full steam ahead because I know that I want to do art, be in the art, and just went full steam ahead, and yes.
Devina, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. We'll be in touch.
Yes. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Talking to you.
Bye bye.